Thanks, Chrissy. Thanks to the team for inviting me down to Busselton. I need to have a word to our chair about potentially setting up our next office down here. So Warwick, I'll come and see you after the prezzo. Thanks for joining, everyone. It's been a busy day. I'm here to just talk a little bit about our company, how we're positioned within the battery metal space more broadly, and talk about two fantastic projects and a brilliant team, an absolutely first-class team that's looking to take us and to be one of the major next lithium producers here in Western Australia. So just before I kick off, acknowledgement of country, I'd like to acknowledge the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation, pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. There is a talent war ongoing at the moment. We take great pride in bringing the best talent into our company. We build a really formidable board, and our purpose is all about really people, power and the planet. We keep it very simple, but we've found certainly in the last couple of months an incredible talent pool looking to be part of our future going forward, so we're very well positioned. So what makes us unique on a global stage? And there's a number of items, and this slide really unpacks those in more detail. So firstly, we're multi-asset. That's really, really important. It gives us great sort of development optionality. So we own two of only 13 JORC compliant resources here in Australia. And what I can say about exploration more generally is that it's becoming more difficult to find really good targets as it relates to lithium. We have two outcropping spodumene bearing pegmatites, and these pegmatites are certainly the most preferred raw material in the battery industry, and this isn't anecdotal. You know, I've been to China more than 50 times, and there's a very strong preference in terms of using spodumene-bearing pegmatites as raw material feedstock for lithium chemicals used in the battery sector. So our projects are located in arguably two of the best mining jurisdictions here in Western Australia, being the Pilbara, our Marble Bar project, and out in the Eastern Goldfields, our Manna project. I talked about JORC compliance. It's really, really crucial for us. It's a long journey to get to JORC compliance, and we're not a Johnny-come-lately in the sense that we've done a lot of work in terms of our resources, bringing them to market. We delivered a maiden inferred mineral resource at Marble Bar prior to our IPO. There was 3 or 4 years of work that went into that resource, so it's incredibly well understood from a technical perspective. We've got a really strong team, a lot of experience in lithium. I've been in the sector more than 11 years. I'm also the current chair of the LME Lithium Committee, working with the likes of Tesla and Ford and other global EV value chain participants. And certainly as it relates to lithium, we're very familiar in terms of deal making, but also project execution. I'll talk about the board and our experience as a collective on the next slide. We've got some fantastic counterparties on our register. You know, we've been very strategic in terms of the likes of Mineral Resources coming on our register. They've recently increased their stake to 8%, showing tremendous faith not only in the projects but the team. And Suzo, TANA, I'll touch on this company as well, but both companies bring both downstream and upstream lithium expertise to the company, which is something we'll leverage going forward. We're in a great jurisdiction. There's no better jurisdiction not only to be mining, but specifically for lithium mining. Here in Western Australia, we've got this incredible talent pool, technical, commercial, legal expertise. And it's not just the mining companies themselves, it's all the contractors, the laboratories, the logistics services companies. You know, there is no jurisdiction on the planet that comes even close to Western Australia. So we're very fortunate. WA supplies more than 50% of the world's lithium. And I suspect next year it'll be close to 60%, and that's quite phenomenal. We've got a very unique opportunity here in WA, and it's something I sort of stress on everyone in this room and everyone's involved in the battery metal sector. This isn't an opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You know, in my view, this is the first time in humanity that we've had the opportunity to be part of an industry that not only is going to power the future, but is going to create a better place for our kids and our grandkids. And that's something that really gets me and keeps me incredibly motivated every day. So I'll talk about our board. I won't deep dive into each of the individuals, but it's a really powerful board, incredibly ambitious. Collectively, as a team, we've delivered close to $100 billion in resource projects, and we've got more than 150 years of experience in terms of the West Australian mining sector. And I think that really pivots us incredibly well as we move from advanced exploration into a development stage in the next month. Just a snapshot of the company. As Chrissy mentioned, we've had a pretty amazing ride since our listing in May of last year. We've got a tight register, about 200 million shares on issue. Market cap popped through 500 million. It's done that a couple of times in recent times. There's incredibly strong institutional interest in the stock, and also the partnership interest as well from downstream strategics. We do have a tight register, as I said. There's two major cornerstones on the register, being SUSO, TANA and Mineral Resources. A couple of high net worths. Board and management have significant skin in the game at about 5%, and the balance is retail and institutional. Institutional part of our book is probably less than 10% at the moment. But again, our share price has performed incredibly well, not just on the back of general sentiment and market pricing, it's on the back of real deal flow. You know, we've been involved in M&A. We've delivered inferred mineral resources on one of our projects. We're multi-asset, and we're doing the right deals at the right time. There is broker coverage. I'll let you follow up with these in due course, and this is all non-paid. Canaccord, Shaw and Partners, Macquarie and Argonaut Securities. The jurisdiction piece is really critical, in my view, and I've been following lithium companies on a global basis, and each jurisdiction, in my view, has a unique set of challenges. But what we have is that is unique, is this brilliant branding internationally, and hats off to the likes of BHP and Rio and Fortescue and these types that have really created this Team WA brand. But it's a brand that we'll leverage from as a lithium industry, because they've unlocked ports, the port infrastructure we have, the road rail infrastructure. These are all critical assets for our lithium industry as well. And also there's a recognition downstream and offshore of the ability of Western Australia as a state to deliver tonnes to market in whatever form that is. And that's certainly one of the reasons the global EV value chain is really turning their attention to WA and all the producers based here. We produce spodumene. I'm the hard rock guy. Spodumene has a number of very unique advantages. Speed to market's one of those. I talked about the quality piece, the consistency piece. That's really critical for the downstream OEMs as well. So we're in a brilliant position owning two assets. Both of those are spodumene hard rock. Mineral Resources, I probably don't need to introduce this company to anyone, but importantly, there's some strategic synergies here in terms of the location of their assets in relation to ours, up in the Pilbara, and also the Mount Marion JV that they run together with Ganfeng near Kalgoorlie. As I said, they've bumped their stake in our company up to 8% recently, and they have just an amazing fast track record of delivering these upstream projects. So that's, again, a relationship that will continue to evolve as we go forward. And our other partner, SUSO TANA, it's a controlling shareholder of a very significant lithium hydroxide producer in China called Yibintian Li. The other shareholder of that company is CATL, which is the biggest EV battery company on the planet. And again, this relationship gives us insights into what's happening in China from a technology development perspective. But it also gives us fantastic access to potential downstream expertise. And we're a company that's going to be pivoting in the public domain very soon in terms of bringing a downstream development strategy with relation to lithium hydroxide to market shortly. Pricing, don't need to touch on it. These are the prices as of Monday this week, all-time highs as it relates to all of the lithium chemical products, but also spodumene concentrate. And this chart by benchmark is really quite scary if you look at it. It looks at future demand for battery lithium, and it shows you where we are currently in red. So we've got an enormous way to go, and projects like ours are absolutely crucial to the success of this industry going forward. We have also recently executed an MOU with SK On, one of the world's largest battery players. They have brilliant technology, a great team, diversified globally. They've got assets in Korea, China, Europe, and also the US, and they have a joint venture with Ford Motor Group, which is a relationship that we are also benefiting from going forward. This MOU also looks at the potential of this company to support us in terms of future capital raises, and also prepays in terms of greenfield project development, and of course looking at some joint venture downstream lithium production opportunities as well. So it's a really strategic MOU. Let's talk about a project, Samana. This is a recent aerial photo taken from the site. This is an incredible project, and I've said this publicly now for a couple of months. This will be one of West Australia's new mines as it relates to lithium. We've made incredible progress on this asset since acquiring it last year under a joint venture. It is an outcropping spodumene-bearing pegmatite, as I mentioned. We have delivered a maiden inferred mineral resource of close to 10 million tonnes at 1.14%, and that was defined on less than 4,000 metres of drilling. So just to put that in context, we've just recently completed a campaign, a new drilling campaign of close to 24,000 metres, and that's a combination of RC and diamond. So huge upside, great infrastructure. And just to talk about the resource for all the geos in the room, it's hosted in 100% greenstone. I've said to the guys we need to stop drilling because we keep finding more lithium, so we're just focusing on an infill campaign at the moment, which will feed part of our significant resource upgrade, which will come in early December. So this will be an open pit mine. We've got great coalescence at depth, but importantly we've got some very shallow hits in terms of some high grades, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6% lithium oxide close to surface. Very clean core. There's very few gangs in this material, so from a processing perspective, we're very confident we'll be producing a saleable concentrate. We've collected about 2,000 tonnes of core, which will feed into the metallurgical test program currently underway. That'll be announced to market next year. We only need about 300 to 400 kilos of core, pegmatite core, to kick off a met test program, but we're looking to take this core all the way through past concentrate and into a lithium hydroxide and demonstrate to the market that we can produce a battery grade hydroxide from our pegmatite. Great photo here, again just showing the extent of the asset, the resource and the drilling. You can see the pad clears there. We've got 3 drill rigs on site, 2 RC, 1 diamond, and this just shows you the extent of the ore body. It's a significant one, and fast forward 3 or 4 years, there'll be a wonderful pit there, and we'll be producing. Again, we've had some great progress. I've been out site a few times. We've had a brilliant record in terms of safety. And now moving on to Marble Bar, second project. Again, this is a project located up in the Pilbara. Great access to infrastructure here. Again, we've got a sealed road running through our tenement boundary. Another maiden inferred mineral resource on this project, 10.5 million tonnes at 1%. And we're just concluding a very significant RC drill campaign, which again will add to the resource upgrade going forward. And peerless as far as infrastructure goes, 160 kilometres to Port Hedland and a sealed road through the tenement. Some great hits here, good grades. It's a big site. We've got lithium mineralisation over a 15-kilometre distance within our tenement package, so there's lots to explore going forward into next year as well. So we do have quite a significant campaign earmarked in terms of exploration next year. We have completed met testing on this product, on the core from this particular asset, and we can produce a very high-grade concentrate at very high recoveries, sort of 5.9% lithium at 76% recovery. So demonstrated again we can produce a saleable concentrate, and this is an incredibly clean, a clean pegmatite. So just finishing off, this is a new slide just showing momentum going forward the back end of this year and into next year. Feasibility, scoping starting next week. We'll conclude that by the end of the year. That'll pivot us and position us for feasibility commencing early next year. Resource upgrades coming. Metallurgical test work coming next year. Environmental native title approvals will be ongoing through the course of 23-24. FID sort of 24 positioning, and commencement of construction in early 25. So that will have first tonnes in market 26. So that's a great runway ahead for us, and one that our partners on the downstream piece are very excited about. And just finishing off my last slide, why invest? I mean, this is quite simple for us. Great jurisdiction. 2 great resources, gives us wonderful optionality, great starting position in terms of maiden inferred mineral resource, close to 20 million tonnes, big upside coming, a great team, great infrastructure in terms of our projects, so a lot of positive news flow coming to market. ESG is important. We have a strategy we're delivering to market in the next couple of months. We understand how crucial ESG is, and what I can say, it's more than just the E, the S and the G. So finally, Chrissy, thank you.